Hello, good evening. My name is Josh Dolphin from Burlington, Ontario. And my Everton story is, well, I was getting sucked into the Man United vortex in 1997. My coach from Bolton, too hot, too cold, Bolton. Mums, why do mums buy shit pop? Bolton. I was a big United fan, as you can probably imagine, Bolton, scraping the bottom of the barrel. Gotta be a bandwagon fan of a more successful club down the road, Manchester, okay. And I was getting sucked into that little vortex, and my dad caught me on a trampoline wearing a Man United shirt and gave me a very stern talking to later that evening. Basically it was like, are you telling me your uncle, both your uncles, both your mom's brothers are Evertonians? Your granddad, who you're going to be staying with, he's an Evertonian? You're going to insult him by wearing that filth in his house? My dad, your other granddad, and your grandmother, both my parents are Evertonians. You're going to insult me and their honor by wearing that filth over there when you visit them? And he didn't have to say too much more. I was shit scared of him. And did the trick. I've been an Evertonian ever since. Been to see Everton a handful of times in my life. Not as much as I would like to, being an overseas fan, but I do watch them as often as I can. Try to get to every game. Watched the Merseyside derby this Sunday just passed. That was kind of good, but kind of sad that we thought it was good because, as great as Liverpool are, we really should have won 1-0. But back onto the subject of me going to Everton. My first time at Goodison Park was, I was about 15, and I remember the game, it was 3-1 over Fulham. It was August 2003, which would be the invincible season, But I saw Fulham, didn't see Arsenal, but I saw Fulham, and Barry Hales scored for them, I remember. I think Mark Pembridge might have got one for us. I forget who the other two scorers were. But Wayne Rooney came off the bench. I remember, didn't really do much, he had a chip, but seeing him in the flesh was pretty cool. Because, prior to that, I was glued to Sky Sports, which we were able to get because of a TV package we got, and which enabled us to watch Sky Sports every night. And just watching his footage of him in the FA Youth Cup in 2002 was just, I think he scored 2 goals at White Hart Lane against Spurs' youth team. And Everton ultimately lost in the final to Aston Villa that year, but just seeing what kind of player he was, and then remember the name Wayne Rooney against Arsenal, was just seeing his whole, the 2 years he was with us as a teenager was just unreal. That was the only time I saw him, though. And then the next time, I'd have to wait about another 5 years before I got to Goodison again. I was in uni by now, about 20 years old. But I saw 2 games, quick back-to-back. I saw us beat Sunderland on Boxing Day, I think, at Goodison Park. I think we won 2-0. We always seemed to beat Sunderland in those days. I remember we beat them like 7-0 once under Moyes, and Roy Keane was their manager, and we were just brilliant. And then for one and only time that I've seen Everton away was later, that the next match was against Middlesbrough at Teesside, at the Riverside. And I went, and I think that was 2-1. Cahill and Arteta got the goals. Cahill definitely scored. And the best thing about following Everton in those times were there's 2 chants. Mikel Arteta, what was it? He's the best little Spaniard I know. That was good. And then Maru Falani, all the lads, all the Evertonians had Scouse, Harry Enfield, Teddy and Teddy Wiggs. And they had that song, based off the, who was it? Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Maru Falani, you are the love of my life. Maru Falani, I'd let you fill in the blank, something to my wife. So, that was good. And then after that, I'd have to wait another couple of years. And it wasn't until about 2014 that I saw Everton against Chelsea. We got walloped. I think it was about 6-4 or 6-3. It was something embarrassing. Chelsea would go on to be Premier League champions that year, though. Mourinho, the special one, he came back. And the next time I saw Everton, it was probably the best time I've seen them, was against Chelsea again. And it was the beginning of the end for Jose. And Naismith came off the bench early in the first half because there was an injury in the starting lineup. I forget who came off injured. And Naismith scored a perfect hat-trick. Right foot, left foot, header. Unbelievable. Ross Barkley was amazing that day. John Stones was amazing that day. That was just unbelievable. I'll never forget it. My Uncle Mike, who's my mum's brother, died in the wool Evertonian, goes home and away as often as he can. And I remember we got to I think it was the Carisbrook. It was one of the pubs nearby. And he just got he saw me and my dad come in, and he was like, he got like, 2 pints to us and just. Anyways, that's basically my Everton story. I've seen them. I don't think I've seen them a couple times since then, like in the Ronald Koeman era, but I haven't been for a couple of years. I was supposed to go see them with Uncle Mike last year when they played Cardiff, and I went to see my dad in Spain instead. So, but it was a win for the boys, and yeah, Lord knows we need all those that we can get because top four, it's not getting any closer. So, anyways, Toffee Blues, thank you very much for welcoming me on and asking me to share my story. And I love what you do, asking like Evertonians from overseas, because there's actually surprisingly quite a few of us. And good for you for getting out there on YouTube and the podcast, and keep up the good work. Up the Toffees, come on you Blues. Nil status, nisi optimum. Bye.